The Witch's House is a Russian story. Once upon a time in the deep forests of Russia, there was a strange house and no one tried to approach the house, and the villagers called it the Witch's House. The house was old, the windows were always closed, and the doors never opened. Around it were overgrown with strange plants and ivy, as if someone had created them using magic, and no one had ever seen the house, and no one knew who lived there. One day, a young daughter living in the village, Alina, decided to enter the house. She was often known as a hard worker in the village and lived a poor life. However, the family situation has become more and more difficult lately, and Alina has heard a rumored it is that the witch lives in the house, and if someone visits the house and shows her a favor, she will solve the problem with her magical powers. Despite her fear, Alina decided to visit the house to save her family. On that day, Alina walked through the forest with heavy steps and finally reached the witch's house. The house was dark and had a strange aura in the air, but Alina knocked on the door without fear. Then the door opened with a creaking sound. What appeared from inside was an old woman with long gray hair. Her eyes were sharp, as if she had been staring at thousands of years of history. The old woman stared at the arena quietly, and then said slowly, "What have you asked for in my house?" Alina took a deep breath and replied, "I came from my family. Our life is painful, please use magic to help." The old woman stared at the arena in silence for a while. His eyes seemed to be a mixture of kindness and ruthlessness. Eventually the old woman said, "Magic comes at a price. Do you understand that?" Alina was a little confused, but she quickly made up her mind. "Yes, I will pay any price." "Okay." The old woman nodded and quietly handed the magic stone to the arena. "By using this stone, your family will be rich. However, once this stone is used, it will never return. Even if you want to use magic again, you can't allow it." Alina received the magic stone, keeping those words firmly in her heart. Then the old woman returned to the house and slowly closed the door. Alina went straight home and used the stone. Then strangely, the house overflowed with food, and the family's life suddenly became richer. Her parents were also delighted, and the villagers were surprised. However, Alina gradually became greedy. Her family became rich and her heart was filled, but she still wanted to use the power she had received from the witch again. She muttered in her heart, "Just one more time, just a little more," and headed back to the witch's house. It seemed that the witch had already foreseen the visit of the arena. When Alina knocked on the door, the old woman quietly opened the door and stared at Alina with cold eyes. "You're trying to break your promise, aren't you?" the witch said. Alina gasped and replied, "Excuse me, can you please do it again?" The witch sighed deeply and said, "Seeking magic always comes at a price. You should have known that." At that moment, Alina felt something uneasy. The witch continued calmly, "But wishes cannot be fulfilled. If you ask for it once more, everything will fall apart." The witch told Alina to return the magic stone and close the door again. That night, Alina's house suddenly became poor, and her family began to suffer. Everything was back to normal, and the arena was filled with regret. She deeply regretted asking for magic a second time, just as the witch had said. Alina never visited the witch's house again, and began a new path with her family. She vowed never to be caught up in desire again, and to cherish the happiness that was honestly given to her. That's it.